Well, welcome back again to another episode for the Chat Lounge. My name is Belinda Ashley, and today I'm having one of the most well-renowned and very smart lawyers in Kenya, and he goes by the name of Willis Otieno. But I would like him to introduce himself properly and for any other thing that he's doing.
Thank you very much. I'm Willis Otieno. Picky Ponky.
Exactly, that's
Pacapella Disco. I'm an advocate and I welcome you to my chambers. Yeah, I practice law in all the courts in Kenya and some international tribunals. And I'm also a budding political leader in the sense that I do believe that when the next elections are called, I offer myself to be deputy president. Yes, and my running mate is JB Wajigi, who is the candidate president.
So you guys have put it out in the public.
Yes, the ticket is set. The ticket is set.
Interesting. Why this space of picky ponky?
You know, Apple. Okay, if you look at what Chebukati was doing, it's a bomb. That's all. Kalongolongo games, what we used to play when we were kids. Because he called Raila, he called Ruth, told them come to Bomas at 3 p.m. At the time when he's calling them, he has stopped doing the constituency tally. So you ask yourself, how are you going to arrive at the winner if you are not announcing the tallies? So normally, you announce all the tallies, then the one who gets majority and passes the threshold is called. You only call one person, you don't call both.
Exactly.
So I was in court trying to explain that in the simplest of way. You get?
Really, the picky ponky.
See, picky ponky, Pakamielo lands on Ruto and says you're the president, voila. And you're the president. Oh, even me, I'm surprised it landed on you, but now go on. Now you see Atoramba. So when it comes to choosing a national leader, president, I mean, this is a very serious exercise. It involves people donating their sovereignty for the next 5 years. And you are submitting yourself to a leader whose policies will mean life and death to many people, because many people have died from the time of that Picky Ponky to date. Many Kenyans have died because of a failed healthcare. Many have been depressed. Some even committed suicide because of failure to get jobs. Families have died of malnutrition. People are dying for lack of opportunities. Some have even left the country. Forced to what I call economic exile. So that decision to me, it's something that should not be turned into a child's play. That's what I was trying to communicate.
Okay. Talking about people leaving the country, of course, you are known for unveiling truth about the Kenyan government and also education reforms. What would you say when it comes to His Excellency Ruto emphasizing on getting international jobs all over, trying to create opportunities for us Kenyans here, the young generation, for us to thrive in terms of employment over here?
You know, when you talk about getting international jobs, for who, where, and what, you start by the country. That country is trying to get a job. They also have their own citizens. Their primary responsibility is to be a citizen in their country. So that William Ruto was elected president of Kenya here in Kenya. He should focus on creating an enabling economic environment here in Kenya first that can keep those jobs. Then the surplus is what will be taken out. And if you go to the world today, the most expensive house manager made is a Filipino. Why? Because they're 300%. You don't just grab young boys and girls and throw them to go and work as they offer years a country. And even when they are deployed to go and work abroad, so you pay a premium amount to get a Filipino. But here, you get an Aliaka or an
Out of desperation.
That's the point. Here, the person who is being taken out has no chance here in Kenya. You must not create a chance in Kenya. Then those who now say, I want to work, both as a premier product, going trained and out of choice. So I think it is something that makes meaning to their sacrifice of living the motherland. But William Ruto cannot kill the economy of Kenya and then tell us now go and work as maids where you are being recruited here in Saudi Arabia. Kenyans are kept in cages in Saudi Arabia.
And we all know that, and still at the end of the day, he still asks our people to go and get opportunities that have been created on.
Today, Israel is attacking Lebanon. Yeah? There have been missiles flying over Lebanon. Beirut is besieged. Where's the Kenya government? Have they even gone to check from the Kenyan Lebanese workers, the Kenyan workers working in Lebanon, to just even try to evacuate them? And is he every day telling us go to good countries? Well, by the time you do a labor agreement with the nation, you must look at so many things. The visual training, deployment, terms of service, conditions of work, conditions of leave, rest days, working hours, compensation in case of an emergency. And even the Kenyan government can even money they wanted.
Do you think we are going to get to a point where recently read a story from the Canadian government? They were insisting on creating job opportunities for their own citizens, unlike the way they are used to getting people from outside, great and people. But I do think we got that one moving to get excellence in 5 states about it to be around for 4 years before we invite others.
We will allow the Safina government. When Jimmy and myself are in office, we are going to change because this nonsense that Kenya Kwanza has been showing us, the nonsense that has led us into the last 60 years, that's to stop.
To most parties during the PR.
You know, our politics is called power to the people. Power to the people. And our ideologies, you don't wait for the government to do it. It will be fine in your hands. As if we say we are removing VAT on fuel, I'm not telling you that we will pass a law. We will tell you as we are campaigning on the 9th of September, stop paying VAT on fuel. See, you are the one who buys the fuel. But the one who is the only the petrol station. Just that. Don't wait for government.
Exactly.
Our policies should be policies, will be policies that are empowering the people. We'll say we don't borrow from banks as government. Unless you see a bank trying to sell bonds to government, you stone it. Yeah, it's part of the people. Why do the money belong to the people? Why are you taking it to government? We don't want those shackles of oppression. So as we are not going to do that, tutatenga, tutapanya, tutabadilisha, hapana. We are giving you a date. On this day, do it.
Talking about empowering the people, we know one way to empower our people is through education. And the one Mandela once said is that education is the key to success. With how we are seeing the current situation when it comes to increased funding for learning institutions, do you think this is something that can do anything to make us thrive?
5 million, 10 million Kenyans finishes. Primary school. There are 5 million gets to high school. Only 250,000 gets to university. That should shock any policy leader. Because we are 50,000 are going to university. What are they doing? You must ask yourself where they have colleges and civic are not accounting for 10,000. Where are these people disappearing? So that you come up with a policy to address them. Where are they falling off? Then, in the middle of that crisis, to me, that is a very big crisis. You come up with a funding mechanism that is going to even reduce the numbers further. I believe that education should be free, at least from primary to tertiary. at minimum TVET university can be co-funded, but the government should beat the bulk of it.
I put the example in Botswana. Suddenly they have a finance.
Yes, and it is possible. If you look at how much we've taken as domestic debt, even how much we're spending on our military, how much we spend on NIS, how much is held as presidential, like the confidential vote. Yeah, confidential vote is almost 50 billion. We are spending so much on military. Have you ever gone to war? No. But Kenyans are dying every day. Eh? For lack of knowledge. Eh? Why are we spending so in terms of what? Look how much you're spending on parliament. Out of those makeup. That cast out. So I believe we should be able to offer free education. Education, it's very important to understand this. Education has a very interesting effect on a person, because what education does is it opens your mind to new potentials, new possibilities. The human mind, I don't even think at this point anybody can understand how much the human mind can conceptualize and do. So education opens up that mind to endless opportunities and potential.
Do you think it's a strategy? If someone is affecting the learning process or the learning strategy of our country, they're trying to get the people to expand.
Of course, this is design. This is what's called plant poverty. Plant poverty. Kenyans are living in plant poverty. When I tell you the numbers, 10 billion primary, 5 billion secondary, 250,000 in that. These are the design assisted 60% of the population. Whatever we call. Yeah. 30% should be middle class. And this middle class, you are supposed to be enamored by a mortgage, private health insurance, private with your kids, and you just a pay slip away. Focus on the 10% here, and you don't have money. You 10%. So it's planned. Because you have to tell me that I can't be the only one who is asking. Also, those who are the education that develop a political leadership, that 10 million kids in primary, 5 million kids in secondary, 250,000 kids.
They know what's going.
Like this. So this is to stay here. 60% of the population. This 30%, they are meant to be buffer between and even then they should never be comfortable here in the 30%. Never be comfortable. That's why the public sector is not working. Yes. That is why they fail the health sector has failed. Public education has failed. Loans are exorbitant. Government is worried with the domestic market to deny capital. So that you're only just struggling. Eh? You just know to fight something. You fall. But if this one was comfortable, they start focusing on the entire customer. So they have to remain that, not to focus on the top. To just always try to shy away from going down to the 60%. And the people controlling the pyramid are the 10%. So these are their buffer to suppress the 10%, 60%.
So with all of this information, what do you think is the future?
The future is Safina. The future is Safina. Kenyans have to start asking people in this public space who want leadership to tell us what are the tangibles. We must interrogate. We must have robust discussions when it comes to choosing our leaders. The same way, you imagine, nobody the kind of interrogation they subject their households. But they even want a copy of their ID. They want to know where you come from. Where have you worked before? Now this same person now wants to go and elect someone whose decision will be life and death to the family. They have a duty to ask him the same questions, interrogate. So Kenyans for the first time now need to move away from tribal voting, and I believe they've moved away from that. They are now focused on an issue. And 25th of June was an affirmation. Because I didn't see Kikuyus on the streets, I didn't see Nuos, I didn't see Kalenjins, I didn't see Kambas, I didn't see Taitas. I saw Kenyans. They were all united on this economic pain.
We are moving from that.
Yes, to ideology. We focus on what is your economic promise. Is it believable? Don't tell us mihadarati, sijui mikakati. Tell us how is it that you're going to give away, is it going to come? How will you raise the money? You promise. Ruto sometimes they can't say they are obstructing you. Yes, it in Nyanza. So the development budget. How can I have it? The fourth is light. You promised more than only the development budget. Half of projects that are going to be launched or being launched. More than already in the budget. Development budget. And it's a straight face. Travel the new level they can't launch it.
It was written to some of the sky.
Yeah.
Okay. From what you've said the future is Safina. What are some of the things we can implement so that we can make this economy a better space for us?
I would believe, number one, Kenya government. The first thing, the problem of this country today, the problem that we have in Kenya today is for debt. Out of every 100 Kenya shillings we collect, the arrears tax, 80 shillings goes to debt finance. 80% of their revenue to debt, to pay debt. As they are saying, this country will not grow, will not function before you deal with the debt question. Because Ruto's response to the debt question is to keep coming to your pocket, to increase your taxes. And yet you have no job. You have no opportunities. If you just come in with your pocket, take. He's avoiding dealing with the debt. As we are saying, no, we are not any debt that was taken. Why should we pay 80% of our revenue to debt that we come into? And I believe if we do another we should done. That sum will come to almost 20%. I mean, if you only pay 20% of our revenue to debt, you have a plea. I will not have an appetite to come and increase that. You better should reduce tax for you to feel the breathing effect. Then that will debt. So anybody who does not have the courage to declare this debt ODS and not pay it should not waste Kenyan's time. So it's a difficult decision. And there are many interests involved. And they will not sit quietly. I will forget it. So that to me, that's the first step. Declare the debt ODS. Then number 2, remove government borrowing from the debt. Why should government be voting 5.4 trillion? Money that was in these banks, pension funds, insurance companies. They have lent it to government. 5.4 trillion. Do you know if that money was available? What we could have done as Kenyans in going to those banks to borrow the money. And those that money, I've told you, our money. It's our deposit. Because you're the one.
And you're still borrowing it.
Then you go borrow it at higher interest rate. Now government has taken back of it 5.4 trillion. If that money was available in the market, you imagine what you would be doing in terms of ideas that Kenyans have, or no matter that. People will be coming after the opportunity. And yet there will be quietly. The money will be circulating in our pocket.
How about instead of looking at things in that way, about this particular money to serve the people? You know, one thing I've realized with people with investors that in the public, that if the money believes that they are, we are okay with that, because that accountability is what we're not looking at.
You know, corruption is an accountability issue. It's not because I give you the percentage that 80% of your revenue, your money, is going to pay legal debt. 20% is what is left to run government. Pay salaries, do development, operations, buy police fuel, desks, officers, all those things. It's only 20%. So the corruption you're discussing finds itself now in the 20%. It's not your problem. Yeah, I'm not saying that corruption is good. No. We fight it. But you're not trading. They're stealing only the 20%. We go and catch them where the real thing is in the 80%. That is what the devil is. Because until we now we are 100%, there's no corruption. 80% is utilized. Well, unexpected. The 20%, sorry. True not, because you still have this debt monster. But the 80% of the revenue. You need to focus on the debt monster. Yeah. How do we reduce from 80%, bring it down to 20%?
So
That will have more impact. Otherwise, if you focus on 20%, well, for squirrels, man. We're looking for that's eat squirrels and the elephant is causing rampage in the farm. Okay? If you have a squirrel on your farm and an elephant, which one do you focus? You have a tramping elephant in your farm and you have a squirrel nibbling on a maize cob. What becomes your main purpose?
that should be the question.
Yeah, I'm asking the public. If you have an elephant trampling over your farm, maize farm, and you have a squirrel nibbling at your maize cob, which one do you deal with first? The squirrel or the elephant? I believe it should be the elephant. Because the damage is costing, in a short time, the damage it will cause is far much greater than the damage the squirrel is going to cause. So also in this situation, start with the debt before you go to the governor. Fix the debt. That's where the devil is.
You're suffering from anything like that.
We will. Governor is showing.
Anyway, outside of politics, you are known to be a very well-known, very smart lawyer. And everyone understands that. What makes you the most outstanding person?
Is my passion and zeal when I represent my clients. Anytime anybody comes to me and they have a case that I believe in, I take my passion. And I don't choose that you're a big paying client. Even if you are not paying, I do many cases pro bono. As long as it's a question of the rule of law, it's about justice. I bring my passion. Some people say that the more I sweat, the more I'm paid. No. That I only reserve my sweat for the paying clients. No. Even for the non-paying, in fact, I'm more passionate in the criminal court for the non-paying clients than the paying ones. So that is where injustice takes place in most cases. They are the ones who suffer most. Our justice system is very hostile to the poor people.
We recently had new female students joining into campuses, and most of them have actually taken that side of field. What kind of advice would you give that to me?
My advice to students is focus. You need to pay attention to your studies. But more importantly, understand your obligation to your nation and your rights as a citizen. And you must participate. You must participate in this conversation on governance. Don't say that, oh, me, I'm doing art, oh, me, I'm doing engineering, I'm a doctor. No. Governance affects all of us. When you have bad governance, even the quality of education you're going to get at the university, it's going to be what is expected. So we need to participate. And nobody said when you have bad leadership. It affects everybody. That is my message to our students.
What has been? With all the knowledge that you have in terms of politics and law, what are the plans that you have apart from the Safina PS party?
My plan that I have is a plan to change the place of the black man in the Committee of Nations. I believe the black man was not meant to suffer. We were not born to suffer. Africa should be able to trade with itself, and Africa must rise. Why should Lagos import most of its vegetables from Europe and America? Why not from Kenya? Why do I have to go to France if I'm traveling to Mali? Why do I have to start my journey by going to France? I should be able to fly direct. Africa, we are 1.3 billion people in sub-Saharan Africa. We have to turn this into a market. We trade with ourselves. And we must change the conversation about this continent.
Do you think it's something possible if the state has political leaders like our current president?
If we have the type of William Ruto in political leadership, you cannot progress as a continent. You will only retrogress. So Ruto is looking at Moi. He is back in 1980. We are in the year 2024. In 1980, who was there even? Can't connect will be backward. So we can have covered this caliber leaders. start focusing on a Pan-Africanist agenda that's about the African continent. How do we change our politics and governance? That it should be that we should be seeing Mzungus trying to escape from Europe, India, not Africans passing the Mediterranean to sneak into Italy. No, it should be the other way around. We are the continent of resources. But our people are now running through Lampedusa because of failed leadership in the continent. We have to stop this greed of African leaders. That you are in an office and all you care about is accumulating wealth for yourself. Why? Stop accumulating wealth. Sound your people. Even if you accumulate wealth, at the end of the day, it will all remain here. Go and look at Mobutu's mansion in Badolite. It's abandoned. It is now a forest.
So they say the youth are the ones who define the future of a particular country. How is Safina going to induce the young people?
Safina is a young people's platform. And by young people, I don't mean young people just by age. Young by even ideas. Because you may have some old people like Kindiki or Nini Joro, who may look youthful, but the ideas are ancient. We don't want that kind of thinking in Safina Party.
What are the kind of person you want to see?
Morala Pablo is a promising youth leader. That's the kind of leadership that we want in the country. People who are courageous in advocating for social change. Yeah, that one we admire. But he's not a member of Safina Party. But if he comes to Safina Party, we'll welcome him.
Okay. Interesting. Anyway, we've had build the Satans. My name is Brigada Ashton.